So we're right at the beginning of Furka Pass. Got this and then Grimsel Pass still to do. It's mainly the cold now that's getting to me. Good morning, guys. So today we're going to be visiting all of the famous, well, not all, but the majority of the famous Swiss mountain passes. So we're talking Furka Pass. I don't know how they I don't know why I said it in that accent. Furka Pass, Susten Pass, Grimsel, probably Saint Bernardino if we have time, and then there's a few other smaller ones in and around the area. We just finished wild camping, which was an experience. If you haven't seen that, check out the previous video. But yeah, we're right now at the top of a mountain by some beautiful lakes. Wild camping is something I'd really recommend. It was an amazing experience, and I think nothing beats waking up in the mornings and just seeing the sunrise over the peaks of the mountains and just, yeah, being out in nature. It was incredible. But the video for today, first plan is we need to get down this mountain. So we're going to do that and head towards the Airbnb that I've booked for tonight so that I can offload most of the luggage and then just bring the camera equipment. And then this afternoon, we're going to head straight for the passes. Luckily, they're all within quite close proximity of each other. So I'm hoping, I know how it is with time, but I'm hoping that we manage to do all of them. But for now, I'm pretty much almost packed. I just need to load the luggage onto the bike and we'll get going. All right, and it's time to go down this mountain pass one more time. I mean, I've already done it 3 or 4 times because, of course, yesterday when I came up to scout the location, I forgot to buy food. Well, I didn't forget. My original plan was to just come here and scout to make sure it's even viable and then get food. But because it was, in hindsight, I should have bought food on the way. But anyway, as I mentioned, the plan for today is to hit up some of the main mountain passes in Switzerland. We're going to be doing the big 3 of Furka Pass, Susten Pass and Grimsel, which all goes in a loop and is meant to be absolutely spectacular. I do have quite a bit of a journey though from here. The closest town, at least in a direct straight line on the map, is about 10 kilometers away. However, to get there, because of the mountains and you can't go over there, I need to do 140 kilometers around just to get there and then start making my way to the Airbnb. But the positive is, on the way to the Airbnb, we're going to be able to hit up an amazing pass in Nufenen Pass. So I'm pretty excited about that. For those of you that are thinking about wild camping and are maybe on the fence or aren't on the fence and really want to do it, I 1000% recommend it. Honestly, waking up this morning, as I mentioned earlier, was incredible, and even just being there yesterday evening is just so peaceful, and it's just such a different experience, at least for the majority of us who might live in big cities and are away from nature, at least nature like this. Of course, camping at a campsite is still really nice, but you just don't get the same feeling of isolation. I say isolation, there was still a couple of camper vans within a few 100 meters. However, I mean, you really don't feel it. And at the end of the day, especially me being alone, or even if you're just with a partner or 1 or 2 mates, it's still just you in nature. So honestly, it's incredible. Having said that, there was actually a sketchy moment where at about midnight, I'm just laying there in my tent, about to fall asleep, and out of nowhere, I just start hearing a car coming up the mountain. All of a sudden, these bright headlights shine through my tent, and I'm just thinking, what on earth is going on? Like, who's actually riding up this mountain pass in the middle of the night? Because let's be honest, it's quite sketchy. This road is quite narrow. So to do this in pitch black, insane. So I was lying there, a bit, maybe not fully scared, but a bit nervous. And I'm just lying there alone in a tent. And if it was someone who's up to no good, I'm in quite a vulnerable position. So I thought, I can't just lie here. I need to at least see what's going on, because at least then I can appropriately deal with the situation, rather than just lying down at night and letting my imagination run wild. Luckily, I went out and it was just people who are looking to camp and for whatever reason got here super late. And then, yeah, I went back to the tent, and within 10 minutes, I was completely out and asleep. So evidently not that scared. But yeah, that is one thing that was I was a bit wary of, but we made it through and everything's all good. Anyway, with that said, I think it's time to start crunching these miles and start making our way to the Airbnb. Okay, and we're now just starting the ascent of Nufenen Pass. It's been a long journey here, I'm not gonna lie, but we finally made it, and I'm super excited to see what this has in store for us. I guess the first port of call is we've got a bit of traffic up ahead, so I'm gonna try and get around it just so that we can hopefully have a clear ride and not get slowed down on some of the hairpins. And we've got another hairpin just coming up here. And you know what? I'm really liking this one so far. It's extremely unique compared to all the other mountain passes. Just because, first off, the road condition is fantastic. It's so good. And it's also super wide. And the incline is very gradual. It's you almost don't feel that you're going that high up, because you just have these really long stretches of straight road. I mean, in terms of the views, it's amazing, but it does have this kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like quite industrial feel to it, which, as I said, is quite unique. We've now made it to the peak of Nufenen Pass. Let's see what the summit is like here. Starting to see a few people, a few camper vans, some cyclists. Do you know what? It's quite small. Nothing compared to the Dolomites or some of the other mountain passes. You've got a nice tiny lake. And yeah, just up ahead, we've got all the different bikers. Quite a decent showing actually today. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the other side of this pass has to bring. I'm gonna just go straight down. I'm not gonna hang about. Let's just start this descent. And starting off, we've got some nice views and a nice hairpin. Considerably steeper angle. And we got some fellow bikers as well making their way up. One thing that surprised me along a lot of these mountain passes is just the variety of bikes. Just there you had a group of riders. I'm not sure if they're together, but you know, it started off with a Harley,
then a couple of sports bikes, and then finishing off with some adventure bikes, all riding together. Could be that, you know, it's just coincidence and they've just bunched up, but in general, the variety of bikers is quite vast. And do you know what? So far, I much prefer this side of Nufenen Pass rather than the way going up. The views here are much better, and also it's a lot steeper, and you're starting to really feel just, you know, how high up you really are. Having said that, again, the road surface here is so well like maintained, and it's very wide, so it's really still accessible, especially compared to some of the other passes out there. Which, speaking of, we're now just about to hit a collection of hairpins, which is the most in a row, at least what it looks like on the map, that we've had so far. But I'm absolutely loving these. Like, I don't know if it's just the fact that I've been riding for the past week in mountains, doing hairpins pretty much every single day. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pass. Do you know what? It might be one of the most underrated ones, because you don't hear about it as much. You hear about Furka Pass and the other ones, which we're going to do later on today. But yeah, I mean, look at this view just straight up ahead. It looks incredible. And look at this valley. I mean, wow, talk about views. I mean, for me, at least personally, this looks just as incredible as some of the views when we were back up, higher up on the mountain. I'm absolutely loving this so much. So we're quite close to the AirBnB now. I just stopped over at the supermarket to get some supplies, got a couple of drinks and some food for a quick lunch. I think this is the building here. I mean, I booked this super last minute, but yeah, let me just park up and we'll see if this is the right place.
Okay, so we're now at the Airbnb. I'll be honest, I just had an afternoon nap. I was feeling so tired on the road, where my concentration was going, and you know, I stopped off a couple of times to have some coffee, but I just thought, do you know what, it was quite early in the afternoon, and for once I booked a place which is conveniently located to where we're going. Well, I mean, usually it's kind of convenient, but this time it's less than half an hour to Furka Pass, which is going to be the first stop. So yeah, so I had about an hour-long nap, which I really needed. I mean, I woke up and I could have slept for another 5-6 hours, but I'm feeling much better, very well rested. So jumping on the bike, and yeah, let's get over to Furka Pass.
All right, and we're getting quite close to starting the ascent. Just over there to the left is Grimsel Pass, so that's where we'll be coming down later on today. But right now, we're going to be heading the complete other way towards Furka Pass. Also, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble pronouncing the word Furka Pass. But yeah, right now we're just heading over into this cool old little town. I don't know if this is like an old railway town or like trading outpost. I'm not too sure. There's a bit of renovation going on the left, of course, some bikers as well. And you know, and check that out. An old steam train. I don't know if you can ride that up or if it's got some kind of like if it's more for industrial use. But it'll be pretty cool to visit the mountains if it goes up the actual mountains and going via steam train. That would be pretty awesome. All right, and we've got the first proper hairpin. Gonna take it nice and easy because especially we've got a van. And yeah, just see what this is like. I mean, the view there, so straight up ahead, that's Furka Pass, where we're gonna be heading. Pretty insane. Got a couple of bikers coming down as well. I mean, stunning. I've been here just not that long, a few miles, and I get so far why the hype is there, because the scenery on this one so far is 10 out of 10.
So we're right at the beginning of Furka Pass. It's about just under 2,500, I think it's like 204,000 odd meters up. Actually famous for having one of the scenes in James Bond and Goldfinger filmed along these roads. So far, twisties have been great. I'm really liking them. And I think all the ones I've been doing before have, I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but have better prepared me because these are a lot wider and they now don't seem anywhere near as intimidating as the ones I was riding earlier this morning, yesterday, the day before. Those kind of really narrow, steep, basically one lane hairpins on insane verticals or, inclines or declines. So we're, I don't know, I think about 10 minutes away from the peak. I don't know what that is in kilometers. I think it's about 15, so like 10 miles. Yeah, scene's stunning. The lower section of Furka Pass, or I guess Furka Strauss, I don't know, I think that's the right word. And I don't know if it's officially part of the actual pass, but it's the road that leads onto it. Actually beautiful and stunning. You've got like the old railway right next to it, loads of really nice hills and mountains. Incredible. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the top is like and the rest of this track. I know we're just about to start an intense hairpin section where it's basically just hairpin after hairpin all the way to the top. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll see you guys at the top.
So far, this has been incredible. And just up there in the right-hand corner is the Hotel Belvedere, which is the super famous spot where everyone takes a photo, and hopefully we'll be able to get one as well. I'm guilty of it. I'm here for the social media posts as well, so I definitely want to get a nice photo up there, but this ride is so enjoyable. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if it's the fact I've been riding non-stop, but it's been super easy getting up here so far. Again, another really well-maintained road. I guess with the amount of traffic this gets with the height, I'm not surprised that it's well maintained. Oh, I say that and again I had to slow down. But yeah, look at this. It's absolutely breathtaking, incredible. And now we're just pulling in by the hotel. Got a nice, do you know what? A cool bit of artwork just there, probably signifying the glacier that's just behind on the other side. you know what? With no surprise, there's a lot of people out. I was planning to get some drone shots, which I'll still get. But getting a photo, I don't know if... I don't know how easy this is going to be and how long we're going to have to wait, because... And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I quite wanted one of those nice empty shots. Yeah, do you know what? Scrap that. We're going to continue with the journey just because lighting's going to fade and we've got quite a lot of miles to do. So I think I might come back tomorrow morning instead.
And so we're here at what I believe is the top of Furka Pass. It was actually really short. I was expecting it to be much longer, but it was really fun. I think it's generally a nice and easy mountain pass to do, super scenic, especially compared to maybe like Stelvio and Umbriel Pass was pretty hardcore just because of how narrow it is, and some of the mountains that I was riding in Italy. This is, I think, a lot more approachable to riders of all skill. Well, maybe not complete beginners because it's still a hairpin turn and it's on an incline or decline depending which way you're going. But I think it's a very approachable pass and one of the most beautiful just in terms of the road itself. It's really stunning. So we're going to continue down it. I believe just up ahead is the kind of Goldfinger shot. So we're going to ride down there and then move on to the next pass. The sun's starting to set because of my nap. Once again, it's a battle against time. This seems to be the story of my life. Or I guess technically, if we want to get deep, it's the story of everyone's life, right? What am I talking about? So I think I'm going to try and hit at least another 2-3 passes. I don't know if that's going to be possible. The one thing we did miss out on, though, is that kind of famous hotel shot on one of the hairpins. As you guys saw, I got there, but it was packed. And rather than stick around, waste time, because I'd quite like to take some photos when it's relatively empty, what I might do, since tomorrow, the plan is I'm just heading out of Switzerland. I might hit one more pass, but it's pretty much it's not really a filming day. It's just going to be getting, out of Switzerland and starting to head south. So what I might do is get up early in the morning and come back here. Hopefully there won't be many people around. And that way we can get some nice photos in front of that hotel, because I'll be a bit gutted if I don't get that shot. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. But we're going to continue on and go to the next pass.
All right, and straight away just dropping into this steep hairpin on the descent. But man, the views are even better on this side of the mountain. Also, these barriers, the drop on my right now is pretty insane. And these barriers won't do much if you're on a motorbike. I mean, they might stop you if you're on a car, like worst case. Always got to appreciate the guys stopping over. All right, now we're entering a little high-speed section. We've got a long straight at the moment. I don't think I'm going to be able to overtake this car in time, but that's absolutely fine. We're in a tiny rush, but not enough to justify taking any unnecessary risks. I'm just here to enjoy the ride, and that I'm definitely doing. I mean, to be honest, how can you not enjoy this? The views, wow. I'm really getting the hype around this place. All right, are we gonna go for it? Yeah, we've got a clear straight ahead. The car slowed down for us as well. Man, honestly, this is really, really something else. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this is just wow. Okay, we could see our old buddies on the bikes up ahead. They've been keeping a nice pace, and I'm not actually planning to catch up with them or anything like that, but I'm just trying to stay within my comfort limits, and any hairpins and turns, I'm slowing down as I need and as I feel comfortable. Oh, we've got another truck just up ahead. I think, yeah, we're going to just follow these bikers and try and pass it. Do you know what? It looks fine. I've got the other biker shielding. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm just going to let them go past. Yeah. They were keeping a nice pace. I don't mind. I don't need to be in front of them. I do my best to leave my ego out of it. Oh, we got some racer boys. Mate, they're absolutely gunning it down. I think they're on like some retro sports bikes, which are pretty cool. And you know, as they zoom past, the temptation to chase is there. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm here for a good time, and hopefully a long time. Check out this thing. This is a cool trike. I've got no idea what this is, but I mean, they look like they're having a blast. And do you know what? One day when I'm old and I'm not able to ride a motorbike anymore, at least on two wheels, you're definitely going to find me on one of them. All right. Not sure what's going on here. I mean, quite serious. I don't know if it was a crash. Yeah. Oh, damn. I hope they're okay. That does not look good. I'm assuming that the car was trying to overtake the truck on that hairpin, and yeah. Especially with trucks, because they're so long. Their turning circle is completely different to other vehicles. But you got to be careful on these hairpins and in the mountains. Hopefully everyone's okay. And you know, it's a nice reminder, well, not a nice reminder, but it's a reminder of, you know, what can actually happen. Look at those valleys up ahead. I mean, riding at this time of day is spectacular. When you get a nice clear day with golden hour like this, wow. I mean, this is breathtaking. We're actually on Susten Pass now, just in the beginning section, and there's a petrol station in a town a few minutes back, which you take a left at, and that's officially the beginning of Susten Pass, and it's quite gradual. I think we've been riding maybe for about 10-15 minutes now, and it's mainly flat, so we haven't started the main ascend up the mountain. But wow, I mean, this is incredible. It looks like a movie. It might be a movie. I mean, it's probably not a movie, it's just a YouTube video, but but this is spectacular. This whole loop so far has not disappointed one bit.
Okay, so we're right at the beginning of Susten Pass, and it's becoming a real battle against time. I know I mentioned that earlier, but the sun is now in like a perfect golden hour starting to set. I don't know what that guy was on about. But But yeah, the sun is starting to set. It's looking really good. But yeah, we've got this and then Grimsel Pass still to do. And I don't think I'm going to get any food tonight because most places are shutting, I think, at 7. There might be a supermarket that closes at 8, but I don't think I'll be anywhere near one that closes at 8. So I don't know, I may go to bed hungry today. But not to waste any more time, is back on the bike and let's start doing Susten Pass.
You can see just off in the distance, once we go through this tunnel, is, I believe that's where we're heading. Those peaks is the top of Susten Pass. It's crazy how much of a different vibe this place actually has compared to Furka Pass. Alright, and it's time to start the big ascent up the mountain. Nice little hairpin to get us started off, and I mean, look at those peaks in the background. It's crazy beautiful around here. It's a shame that Switzerland is so expensive. If it wasn't for that, I mean, this place would be ideal. It might also then be completely overrun by tourists if it was cheaper as well, because it really is not cheap around these parts, but it's really worth it to at least do once, hopefully more times in your life, because yeah, I mean, there's no place like this that I visited so far. I mean, the Dolomites were incredible, but just the sheer scale of the mountains around here it's really something else. And also, do you know what? Paired with the sun setting, especially on the other side behind me, it really feels like you're just traveling up into the heavens. It's wow. And do you know what's quite similar to Nufenen Pass? I just checked the map and we're almost already at the summit, which is quite surprising. It's just, again, got that very long gradual straight rather than just hairpin after hairpin. So you really don't feel how quickly you're ascending. But either way, I mean, it's still such a joy to ride, even if it's not particularly technical. It's nice to switch it up and have a break, because like the decline going down Furka Pass on the way here, quite a few hairpins, quite scary with the kind of barrier and the sheer drop as we just enter this tunnel, which is, do you know what, this feels like the finishing line as you're about to hit the summit, which I assume is just on the other side. Yeah, here we go. Not particularly busy, but given the time of day and how much sunlight is left, probably understandable. A few camper vans. So I'm assuming they're going to camp here overnight.
So we're now at the top of Susten Pass. That was a lot shorter than I expected and a lot fewer hairpins. It was more of a kind of gradual incline. We're around 2,200, just over, I think, 2,260 meters above sea level. And I really like this one. I think even though it's probably the least technical to ride, the scenery is kind of right up my street. And with all the kind of like military vehicles that were, or there was like 2 or 3 trucks, it kind of really did give that James Bond feel, even though the previous one is the one which is known for James Bond. This one was really cool, and you finish off with that tunnel right at the end, almost to signify the finish line. So I really enjoyed this one. I don't know what the way down's going to be like, but definitely similar to Furka Pass from the direction that I came, and I'll leave the maps or directions below. And yeah, from the going on the way up, it was very accessible, and I'd say relatively easy. I mean, obviously, if you're completely new to biking, probably don't start going up mountain passes. But if you've been riding for a bit, I think this shouldn't be a challenge for anyone that's been riding at least a year or 2, or has some serious mileage and practice under their belt. But anyway, we're going to continue on. We've got Grimsel Pass up next. It's still light, but the sun is starting to set. So yeah, well, I hope I'll make it. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to revisit tomorrow morning. But I'm going to do Furka Pass tomorrow morning anyway, because I want to get that photo of the hotel. But worst comes to worst, I'll do it in the morning. But I'd rather do it today. And also, potentially good news. So there's just a car starting, and then potentially good news. I have managed to find a supermarket that's open allegedly 24 hours a day. So we'll see about that. I might actually have some food tonight. But with that said, let's continue on to Grimsel Pass. Absolutely incredible. The way that you could just see the reflection of the sunset in that lake and just up ahead. I mean, that is something else. Not many people get to go through this pass and see views like this. As incredible as I'm sure they are during the day, this is very special. I mean, having said that, it comes at a cost, and I'm praying that I manage to make it through Grimsel before it's completely dark and I survive the night and this journey. But, so I don't want to say it's completely worth it yet. However, as of this moment, amazing. Also, I guess PSA, I'm not advising or recommending people to ride at this time and risk going through the mountains at night. I can't have that on my conscience. However, this is spectacular. I mean, those views it's something else. It really is. And then just even looking up ahead at the landscape, just how this road goes along these mountains, and then the eventual hairpin going down all the way at the end. It's truly spectacular. So the supermarket, it says, is somewhere here. I guess it's judgment time to find out how our fate is going to be decided, and whether I'm going hungry today or I manage to get some sort of food. All right. It looks open, assuming it's a supermarket. I'm really praying that it is. All right. Let's see if... Okay, perfect. Only... Oh, amazing. It's only card. No cash, which is exactly what I want. Okay, I don't have too much space. I really wanted something savory. I would just buy some crisps, but I don't have time to stand outside and just eat crisps. Mate. The prices in Switzerland are a joke. So I'm buying a salami sandwich, a Snickers bar, and this kind of thing. And I'm sure it's going to come out to at least 10 euros. Well, in terms of, I guess, the plans for today and the challenge, there's good news and bad news. Good news is we're going to do Grimsel Pass. We're going to do Grimsel Pass whether we like it or not, because it's on the way home. But bad news is getting really dark. I'm not liking this one bit. So I'm not going to stop off and film. I'm just going to eat this food and then power through to get back home as soon as possible. Sandwich actually isn't bad. It's not worth $4.50. That's the one thing I'm excited to get out of Switzerland tomorrow. And I'm paying normal prices for food again. I guess $4.50 for a sandwich isn't bad, but it's pretty small. Dear oh dear. What did I get myself into? It's all because of the nap. Had I gone out straight away, I would have had plenty of time. But then again, I would have been a lot more tired. Yes, we're just gonna have to take it super easy. Because we're probably about to ascend another 2,000 meters above sea level. In the dark. Anyway. I'll finish the sandwich. And then we'll get going again.
Alright, I'm feeling so much better after eating some food, but now I'm just thinking, even in the last few minutes, the amount of light that's dropped is insane. This is not looking good for the journey ahead, because I still have a long way to go, and basically the whole of Grimsel Pass. And we're just now heading into the forests where there's even less light. This, it might be a long night. Right, we've got the first hairpin coming up. I need to take this really easy. Man, that's so tough to see. No, I literally cannot see anything. Like, I got no idea how sharp the angle of that hairpin is, because I can only see the inside line, and only for like a couple of meters ahead of me. This is tough.
Alright, so we're almost at the top of Grimsel Pass. I don't know how much of this you guys will actually be able to see, but but it's getting really cold and it's super dark. It's not too bad. I'm trying to ride safe. It's mainly the cold now that's getting to me, but I think we're nearly at the peak. I think it's literally just maybe a couple of minutes away, and then heading down. And we probably have another 25 minutes, 30 minutes until we actually get back to the Airbnb. It's a beautiful ride, and on one side you've got like this huge moon which is really low and looks beautiful. Then just over there, I don't know if you're able to see it, you can still see the remnants of the sunset. Oh, my bike light just went off. You can still see the remnants of the sunset, and then like the mountains in the background. We just passed like a massive dam, and there's a lake. I really need to visit here tomorrow morning. Anyway, with that said, because it's freezing and man, I don't want to be doing too many twisties in pitch black. So yeah, time to get back on the bike and get to the Airbnb.
Finally, we're back. Man, I'm cold, knackered. It's so weird. It's not even 10 p.m. and it feels like it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm so glad to be back at the Airbnb. I cannot describe the stress levels I was under for the past hour. Yeah, spectacular, but I can't wait to just get into bed.
And we've made it back to the Airbnb. I need to stop doing these mountain passes at night. Man, that's not how today's video was. I was planning for I can't even talk right now. This isn't how I was planning for the video today to go. It was meant to be, you know, okay, there was a bit of a time crunch, but I thought I was slightly playing it up. I wasn't. Well, in the end, it turns out I wasn't. Yeah, the plan was to do a nice loop, show off all the passes, and yeah, just happy days. I didn't think halfway through the loop it would start getting so dark and it would be so late. And I had no choice. Basically, my two options were to carry on going and do Grimsel Pass and then return home, or turn back on myself and do Susten Pass and Furka Pass again and come home. Either way, I was gonna do a mountain pass in the dark. And the route to Grimsel, through Grimsel, was a bit shorter, and there was also the 24/7 supermarket, which meant I actually got to eat some food. And I still have that Snickers, which I was saving for when I get back. So yeah, it was definitely cold up there. I mean, towards the end of the ride, I was just generally a bit cold, but particularly when we were up at the peak of Grimsel Pass, high up in the mountain, I think it's like 2,000 something. I don't know. It's definitely 2,000 something meters above sea level. You really feel the cold. Whereas down here, back in normal level, I was still feeling cold, but it was mainly around my neck because that was exposed, and I would have had a neck warmer had I brought this tactical vest with me, because it's in the pocket there just in case. But I wanted to travel light, and that thing does weigh a bit because it's got 1.5 liters of water in it. I've put in a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, however, we made it back okay. It took a lot of concentration to actually complete that route and get everything sorted. Let me see if I can put the camera down. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, it took a lot of concentration to do that route, especially because I couldn't see more than 10 meters ahead of me, 15 meters max. So I was constantly referring to my map on my phone so I can kind of predict what sort of turns are going to be coming up. Of course, you know, the map isn't 100% accurate in terms of you can't exactly tell 100% when that turn's going to start and exactly what the angle of the turn's going to be. You've got a rough suggestion based on the map, which massively helps, especially in that scenario. If I was doing it without a map, that would have been 10 times harder, and I would have gone way slower, which I don't know whether that would have been good or bad, because I guess on the one side I would have been out for longer, but I would get less wind chill. So either way, we're back. It's nice and warm in the room. I'm going to put a jumper on as well. I'm probably going to make a nice warm tea and warm up. And I guess we'll continue this tomorrow when we'll actually do Furka Pass. I'll see what time I wake up. I might do that whole loop again in the morning, but then we've got nearly 300 kilometers to do to get to the next Airbnb. Tomorrow wasn't going to be a filming day, but I want to do Furka Pass regardless, because I want that photo by the hotel. And then since we're doing it, I might as well just do Susten Pass and then actually see Grimsel Pass in the day. We'll see. But either way, we'll continue this in the morning. So we've made it to the top. It's a bit sketchy, more than a bit.